All right, good morning. Just want to talk a little bit about some of the moves that we've seen in the indices. We're going to start with the financials. The SPOs here, you can see on the left side here, have gone from a low. And again, I want to point out right in that April through June timeframe, really April and May were the big months during the flash crash, that we saw bottoms in most markets, and it's really going to be glaring when you get to the commodities. So real quick, the NASDAQ hit a low in June of 1002 and is sitting at its year high of 1257, basically 1258, which is a 25.5% move. Next, I want to show the Russell. Everybody's been talking about Russell making new highs, and in fact it has. Just like, and again, these charts are almost identical. Again, we bottomed in the Russell in the June time frame. Actually had a lower low back at the beginning part of January, but since then we made a higher low in June, and the Russell has given us a 37% move. That's 37%, so definitely a monster move. And this is a chutes and ladders type chart. It's crazy how straight up all these things have gone. YM, the Dow has gone from a low again of 95.06 up to 11,558, which is where we are, 21.5%. So again, not as spectacular as the Russell and the ES, but nonetheless pretty good. And then the NASDAQ, again, a very strong showing since that spring low. And again, their low was put in at the same time, obviously in June on the indices, and 1698 up to 2239, and that's where we are coming into the close, up almost 32%. So real quick, indices are up anywhere from 21 to 38%. That's the Dow to the Russell, the four major U.S. indices. But more importantly, I want to run through real quick just a couple thoughts on commodities, because you're going to see how glaring this is. Cocoa is up from the bottom of 25.95, however down from the low, or rather down from the high of 34.85, which is about 20% from that high, but it's now up about 13.5% from this low. So cocoa is a small move compared to the rest I'm going to show you here. Oil sitting here at the year high, basically 91.88 was the high, and oil is up 36.8% from this May low. Again, basically a flash crash low. Everything pretty much bottomed around this April, May, June time frame, and it's really coordinated. You'll see this very clearly. Cotton is up 158%, folks. 158%, 66 to 159. Copper, Dr. Copper leading the economy. Again, this could be one of two things. Is it demand driven? I don't see it in the United States, but it could be coming from China, Brazil, and the other BRIC countries. 272 to 433. However, I will say it's either demand driven or it's inflation. It's one of those two things that is driving these price inflation based upon currency devaluation, and that's you've got to take one side of the table or the other here. Coffee, astronomical. Again, coffee up from the low of 128, was basically flatlining until May. Again, notice this time frame. May time frame, coffee went from 128 to 239, or a solid 88.88%. Here's the one that I find is interesting. Lumber. Housing is still in the doldrums. Nobody's buying houses, nobody's building houses, yet the demand has gone from 183 a board foot to 329. 79% increase here since May. Again, the May time frame. This is coordinated, folks. You see this over and over again. Even the lean hogs, even the beef and the pork are running up right now. You see a 22% move here on the hogs since the spring. Again, orange juice. Let's take a look at OJ. OJ through the roof, 128 to 170, a 32% move. Again, you've got sugar. Sugar, astronomical moves. 167% from, again, this April low, from 13 to 34.70. Folks were sitting at highs. Sugar going through the roof. And let's look at the corn, the grains real quick here. Corn has gone, again, parabolic, 332 to the high of the year right now, as we speak, 625, and that's an 88% move. Wheat, again, you're seeing a lot of these same numbers showing up. Wheat has gone through the roof. Again, also, wheat is up 104% from its low in May, which we were catching that low. We bought that low. We bought right down there, that 440 level. So, astronomical inflation being seen across all commodities. The one thing I want to point out, I'm going to do a part 2 here in a minute, is to talk about how the dollar has looked and what bonds are doing and how that relates to the big picture.